Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video, today on this dreary day we are going over this light right here. This is a sort of new offering from the folks over at Surefire. These were announced like over 12 months ago, maybe 18 months ago as of when I'm recording this video. However, they really didn't make it into stores until the last few months. So I was able to get one. I asked the folks at Brownells to send one out. They did. So definitely thank you to them for that, for testing. And the beauty is, of course, Brownells doesn't really care what I say as long as I mention their name. So we have done that. But what is the difference between this particular Surefire X300 versus the X300s of yore? Well, I've been using X300s literally since they first came out back. I think at first they were like 120 lumen, then a 300 lumen, and then they've bumped up over the years. The big difference on this one is that unlike this one here, which is the previous generation, which is a 1000 lumen model, this one is 650 lumen. So why would a next generation have less lumens than the previous generation? Well, the answer is Candela. So for those who don't know, for folks who are new here, basically lumen, an easy way to say it, I'm oversimplifying when I do this, lumens is the total output of a light. Candela is the focused output at a given area on a given space. So the way we tend to use that when it comes to weapon lights is throw. So we say that you can throw further with a higher Candela weapon light, and with a lower Candela weapon light, assuming lumens are the same, your flood will generally be wider and a little bit more bright. So some folks are afraid with a higher Candela light that you're going to get blinding indoors, things like that. There are techniques I can tell you right now to mitigate that, and I don't really think that's an issue. But for those of you guys that do, good news. For what I've heard, the older 1000 lumen Surefires are still going to be made, whereas the new ones here with their 66,000 Candelas will be also made going forward. And as of right now, when I'm making this video, these are widely available. So if you're looking for one, you will be able to get one. Basically, they come in 4 different flavors. So they come in the B configuration, which is what you see here, which uses this thumb screw mount to mount it on there. Then it comes in the A configuration, which is this, that uses all the different screws, and you can sort of quick attach it if you want to with a few different inserts for universal, Picatinny, etc. Pros and cons of each. I have both. I have multiples of both. They both work just fine in my opinion. That said, they also come in black, as you guys can see here, and they come in FDE models. So those are the different versions of the X300s that are coming out. From what I understand, X400 turbos will be coming shortly, which will have the same light output, but will add the function of a laser as well. So that is the basic overview of what it is, how do you use it, those sorts of things. It uses Surefire's toggle switch on the rear here, which the basic function of it is, first off, it's always high only, which I like for a weapon light. Big fan of that. So you can push forward on them on either side and it will go on for momentary. And then if you want a constant on, you can just push down and click it, and that way it will stay on, and then you're going to rock your toggle either way for that constant on. So lefties, righties, it doesn't matter. Or additionally important, if it is on the top of like a carbine or a PCC or something like that, it doesn't matter either. You can do the same thing on either side, push down or up, or once again, you can push forward even if it's on the top of, say, a 1913 rail or something like that. So the interface in the Surefires, very, very good. One of the best out there in my opinion. I've been saying that for a long time. I stay consistent on that. Now, how did they actually achieve the higher Candela? Well, if you look at these two side by side, I should be rolling in photos that you guys can check out. The big difference is that while they are the exact same size, which is important, so if you have a holster for the older 1000 lumen models, it will fit the newer, 650, 66,000 Candela models. So they're interchangeable in that regard. They are literally the exact same size. The big difference is the reflector depth. So on the older 1000 lumen model here, again, I should be rolling in photos that should help, the reflector goes down to right about here. On the current one, the reflector goes virtually all the way down. So you're getting about a ½ inch more in terms of depth of the reflector, which is going to generate that higher Candela. With all the talk about Candela, let's actually show you guys what that looks like. So we're gonna do a beam comparison with a few different options. Number one, the older 1000 lumen Surefires out there. The new 1000 lumen, I believe these are like 20,000 Candela Streamlight TLR-1 HL, which is also a great weapon light. Additionally, the Modlite PL350 review is coming on this one, but this one here has the OKW head, just for those wondering, as you guys are going to see the comparisons with the output. So I wanted to make sure we tell you exactly which one you're looking at there. So with that, let's flip a switch via the convenience of editing, have the lights go out, and actually check out the beam on these different lights. For those of you that are new here, the spot where the wood fence meets the iron fence is approximately 35 feet away, and then those trees there in the background are 40, 45, 50 feet away, depending on the actual tree. The output that you're seeing right now is from the Surefire Turbo. And you guys can get an idea of that good hot spot. It does have some spill, but certainly not a ton. I'll turn the light off there so you guys can get an idea. We do have some lume out here tonight, probably about a half a moon in terms of illumination. Now here is the Modlite. You guys can get an idea of what that beam pattern looks like. Again, you do have some spill, but we do have a pretty harsh edge. Just for comparison's sake, there is the Surefire right here on your right. There is your Modlite. We'll put them both on the fence. Pretty similar. The Modlite might be a touch tighter, but not much. For comparison's sake, what you're seeing here is the Surefire X300 Ultra, and this is the standard 1000 lumen version. You guys can see a little bit floodier. The hotspot's not quite as tight, and just broader overall beam pattern, again, compared to the Turbo that you're seeing right here. Again, this is the Surefire Turbo, and then here is our X300 Ultra. The beam pattern here that you're seeing is from the Streamlight TLR-1 HL. This is the 27,000 Candela version. You can see a very balanced spill. That's one thing this light is known for sure. And again, the TLR-1 HL and the Surefire Turbo. Surefire Turbo, TLR-1 HL. We've changed spots now to the cross lake view, and basically I'm about 10 yards on my side of the shore. Across the lake is about 100 yards, 110 yards depending on the spot, and then there's a fishing shack about 10 yards behind that. Again, my camera's on manual, and we do have some natural noise pollution as well as the moon out here tonight, so it's as close to what I see with my human eye as possible. So first up, we will shine the Modlite out there, and that's that little fishing shack I was talking about. You guys can see we do have a bush right here on my property, and it is still illuminating that a little bit, but of course the hot spot is going all the way out there, and I will just tell you that it's pretty darn visible with the human eye. When I zoom in, that's about as close to what I see with my human eye as possible. If somebody was standing there, I'd be able to see them clearly. I'd be able to see if they had something in their hand, probably be able to identify it as well. I mean, that is a torch out there for sure. Now, just for comparison's sake, we will throw up the Surefire, and that is the output that you see there from the Surefire Turbo, and it's pretty similar, I would say, honestly. You guys can see, again, with it focused on the actual hut there, the bush is still illuminated by the spill. And if we go ahead and zoom in, very similar in terms of clarity of what I see here with my human eyes to what you guys are seeing there on camera. If we kind of go off a little bit to the right, there still is some spill on it, but not a ton. Definitely a hot spot, maybe a little bit broader hot spot than the Modlite if I had to compare the two side by side on that front. And why don't I just take it out and do exactly that? There we have the Modlite, and then the Surefire. We'll put them up in the trees to kind of give you a better idea. I do think the Modlite might be a touch tighter in terms of the hot spot. Surefire now over here on the left. Modlite over here on the left, rather, Surefire on the right, I should say. And just, they're close, but there's a slight difference. Here we have the output from the Streamlight TLR-1. You can see a much broader beam, especially if you look down here at the bush. It's just fully illuminated. There's no edge on it or anything like that as we go off to the side. It just does a little bit better job at situational awareness in that regard. Focused in there. You guys can see that it is definitely bright for sure. It has great candela, obviously, for a pistol light, but when we compare it to, say, the Modlite, it's just not quite the same. Again, that is the Modlite. That is the Streamlight. So there is a little bit of difference. Again, I would be able to get PID if somebody was out there. Probably. Is it quite as good? Probably not. That there is the Surefire. And again, you can see the edge there on the spill. And again, zoomed in. Surefire Turbo, Streamlight TLR-1 HL. Now what you're looking at is the output of the 1000 lumen Surefire Ultra. And again, you can see a much broader hotspot with that broader spill as well, the flood. And if we zoom in there, you guys can see that's what it looks like with the traditional Surefire 1000 lumen guy, and then Turbo. So Turbo on there, little fishing hut. And then this is the 1000 lumen. And then again, the turbo, and we will back it out there with that turbo to let you see what that looks like. And then again, that is the 1000 lumen X300. So much broader, much spillier. And then the turbo. Now that you've seen the beam comparison with the different lights, a few things that I do want to touch on before we close the video out. And the first one is going to be durability. Normally this would be sort of a no-brainer and something that you don't even have to bring up with Surefire, but my friend Chris over at the Honest Outlaw channel had an issue with his X300 with durability. So I'm gonna do a couple drop tests, basically just shoulder height drop tests on some concrete on my patio here. And we're gonna take a look at that and see what the durability looks like on these different lights. Make sure that they are actually functioning up to what we would expect from Surefire. Again, it could totally be a one-off on his channel. If you guys don't watch the Honest Outlaw channel, definitely check it out. He makes good content. Could totally be a one-off, but I've been using Surefire lights for literally over 20 years. I've never had one fail on me. So when I saw it on his channel, it kind of raised my eyebrow. So we're gonna do some dropping on some concrete with this guy here and see how it holds up. So as y'all just saw, we dropped it multiple times onto the concrete from shoulder height, had zero issues. One time it did turn off, you guys probably saw that, but that was just the actual toggle itself getting bumped into the off position. Lots of scuffs and scrapes, but it is no worse for the wear. Completely still functions exactly fine like you would expect from a Surefire. I suspect that what happened again in the video I referenced over the Honest Outlaw channel was just a one-off. Again, I've literally never broken a Surefire light and I've been using them for 20 years. Probably easily 6 figures in terms of rounds downrange with guns with Surefire lights on them. They work. And that is exactly what I would expect there from that one. Other things to point out about this, of course, is that compared to some competitive offerings, this one here is American made, at least as American made as possible. I'm going to roll in the statement on Surefire's website. And from what I understand, just from talking to other folks in the industry, there actually are no emitters that are being made at all in America anymore. That's been the case for several years. So you can't make a light like this, again, from what I've been told by folks who actually work in this space, 100% America anymore. So that's why Surefire has that disclaimer on their website that they didn't used to have, simply because they can't do it anymore. It is what it is. You guys can certainly comment on that down below in the comments. In terms of which mounting system is best, obviously we have our Q5 Walther pistol here, which has an IT13 spec rail. And for most of your rails like that, all you need to do on the B model is just loosen it up. And it does have a little bit of give to it, and put it on whichever 1913 rail it will actually fit on for your particular application. I like mine a little bit closer, generally speaking, to the actual trigger guard. And again, you can mount this up with the Candela that you guys have seen so far. It would do just fine on a rifle as well in a lot of different configurations. But that really is it. You just want to tighten it down. You don't need tools to tighten it down. The same is going to be true with your A model. So if you're using an A model, you can put it on and then tighten everything down with those Allen keys. That said, you probably don't need to. As long as you have it snugged up pretty well, you should be good there. But that is it. That's how it works. And then again, the basic function of what we've already covered, but you push for momentary click down for on. And in terms of sort of human interface, the toggle switch on the Surefires are some of my favorite, if not my favorite at all. What do I think about the light overall? I think it's excellent. I think Surefire was a little bit late to the game in terms of listening to what the customers wanted in terms of a higher Candela light, but I'm glad they did it. And from what I've seen online, it looks like they're going to be posting, or rather releasing, their Scout series in turbo configuration, i.e. with the higher Candela and with rechargeable lights, as rechargeable batteries as well, I should say, in the upcoming months. So if you guys want to see videos or reviews, tests, things like that on those lights, definitely let me know down below in the comments section. Speaking of batteries, these do run on two Cr123a batteries. So these are not rechargeable batteries that it comes with. From what I understand though, Surefire actually has rechargeable Cr123as out for folks who want to pick them up now. I would imagine they're going to tell you not to use any off-brand rechargeable Cr123as, but any of your standard lithium Cr123as will work, and that is how it opens up. Of course, it is O-ring sealed. These things are submersible. I should be rolling in footage of this thing underwater. You absolutely can use these out in the rain, in storms, undersea, underwater if you want. If you want to scuba dive in, feel free. Your X300 will be just fine. So all in all, very high Candela, high quality, durable light that is, again, as made in America as much as possible. If you guys have any of these, let me know what your experience with them has been down below in the comment section. And with that, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Again, if you're looking for one of these, there will be a link down below in the video description to pick it up. But that is it. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you like this content and you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Additionally, you can follow me at all my various social media sites that you see here on your screen. Oftentimes, if these things go on sale, we will post it up over there. The standard price, I believe the MSRP is $349, but again, if you follow me on various social media, you will see that sometimes these certainly come in for less with different discount codes that I do have from various manufacturers. So there is that. Additionally, if you hit that subscribe button, you're still not seeing those videos, make sure you sign up for my email list at the website here on your screen. This email goes out once a month, and it has all of the videos since the previous month's email went out. So that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. And if you just want deals and you don't want to follow me on any of those social media pages, or if you want both, you can sign up for my daily deals email at the website here on your screen. This email goes out every day, as the name indicates, and it has 6 or 7 of the best deals that we find around the internet. If it's in that email on that particular day, it is the cheapest I know of anywhere on the internet. So that way it saves you guys some time and hopefully saves you some money as well, because I've already done the looking for you. And I think that's pretty much it. Thanks as always for watching. I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.